Okay, here at the DDAmanda team, we're bringing you the true beginning of a great company, Orion Energy, stock symbol OODH, and they are an oil and gas company. And I have known the CEO, Tom Lull, for over 5 years, and he is independently wealthy. And Orion has mostly just been a hobby with him. But now he's ready to take us to the next level, and what he wants to do is build a true, full-blown NASDAQ company. Here's a little bit about him. He's been active in oil and gas industry for like over 20 years. He's personally purchased and owned 43 oil wells, 2,000 acres. He's partnered and drilled wells with Mexico Energy, and has worked with every major oil. He's into he's into oil and gas, okay, and he knows his stuff. So let's get into the details of this company, all right? Okay, here we are in DDAmanda live mode. So I'm on the company Orion, and let's push this summary button. And we're going to go over the share structure and financials real quick. So security details, we have authorized 250 million, outstanding 10 million, and float held at DTC 700,000. We got a low float here. And let's look at the financials real quick. Remember, this company is just starting out. You guys are in at the ground floor. In fact, maybe even the basement. So let's check out your financials here. Start off with the balance sheet. Do we have quarterly? Yeah, here's quarterly. Okay, so we have assets 79,000. Total current assets 89,000. Total assets 3.3 million. Liabilities, total liabilities 0. No liabilities, guys. This is all assets, all right? And let's see what else we got. Oh, let's look at the income. And revenue is 11,000 last quarter. Gross profit 11, operating income 9,000, expenses. So net income only 1,000. And annual, where are we at annually? Gross profit 32,000, operating 13,000. So 13,000. That's it for last year. But like I said, we're growing, kids. So let's go look at the news, latest news. Okay, we're back to DDAmanda. Let's push our news button here, which will take us to the latest news. Let's look at this one, 11/6 last year, November. And here we have, if it'll ever load. Okay, so we have here closed on an acquisition of a royalty interest in Scoop Stack of Oklahoma. Property consists of 0.59 royalty interest in 170 acres of drilling leases. So here's a picture of it, a graphic, and so it says here, we've received notice from the state of Oklahoma. It's planning to drill multiple well horizontals in our Kingfisher County acreage. So they're being pulled into a 320-acre horizontal drilling, which is pretty massive. And then let's look at the latest news, which was on just May 1st, just a few days ago. So let's look at this one. So here we are. We've got new stuff in Colorado, 1% non-op working interest and override royalty, and 116 wells here. producing 1.5 million cubic feet of gas, and then a 10% royalty in 10,000 acres located in Garfield. Then we have stuff in Oklahoma, 6%, and 32 wells producing 2 million gas. You guys can read about this. Then in Arkansas, we got more, 118 wells producing 4 million gas. So he's just growing like crazy here, adding stuff. And look at this. Recently notified that Citizen Energy has drilled a 2-mile horizontal well on their Kingfisher County royalty acreage. So they're being pulled into a 640-acre horizontal drilling and spaces unit in this Kingfisher thing. Pretty amazing, right? So, you know, he says here, we're cash flow positive on all of these recent acquisitions, have already generated significant income, and working towards re-entering the Eagle Ford property, and recently sold oil in Orion's Eagle Ford property as well. He says, look at this, we are not slowing down, and I will continue to build value for our shareholders. Orion now owns 53,000 mineral acres in Permian Basin, Eagle Ford, and Scoopstack of Oklahoma. Pretty crazy, huh? Alright, so that's the latest news, and from what I'm hearing, there's more coming. Here's your annual report, and amended another annual report. We already went through the financials, so we really don't need to look at this. I wanted to clear up something here. There's a couple of 144s here, and I asked him about that. These are sales of 100,000 shares, but the thing is they're both referencing the same block, and I don't know if if he's even sold these yet. But anyway, there's two of them here, and they're both for 100 grand. I think the first one didn't work out, but you know, it's nothing. 100,000 shares, 27 grand, Jesus. So, but I just thought I'd go over these in case you had a question about them. And there's not going to be any more either, so anyway, so I thought I'd cover that. You know what, let's look at this annual report just for grins here. So what we have here is your OTC Markets version of an annual report. Here you have all these old shareholders, and you'll notice these are all restricted, okay? All these guys have restricted shares. I don't know how many of them there are here. There's a couple of million here. 1, 2. Maybe I should add those up. There's no promissory or convertible notes. No. What do these add up to be? 2 million. These were canceled. There was the reverse split a while back. Another, what is this? 300,000. Maybe another million here. Another 1.5 million, 2.5. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 million shares here, okay? Which is, yeah. And then here we have all these properties, okay, where he's increased royalties over the years. You know, he's growing. He's getting more leases all the time. What else we got here? Look at all these. These are all royalty interests here. A lot of them. He has 7 million shares. Another couple guys. This guy's got 500. This guy's got 500. No legal stuff at all. Let's see here. Okay, here's your total current assets as of December of last year. We got 90,000 here. But then we have all his leases and oil wells and what have you, which adds up to 3 million, 3.23. We already went over this summary. Alright guys, so that's it for this 10K. It's pretty, not a lot of stuff here. Alright, that's it on that. Okay, in summary, what we have here is a very rapidly growing company, okay? And what he's doing is getting more leases and wells, which creates more revs and lets him buy more leases and wells. It's like a snowball effect, okay? I really look at this as a multi-dollar company, kids, you know? And from what I've gathered by talking to him, he's got a lot more news in the pipeline. So there you go. I think this is probably the best company I've ever run across, and we're all getting in on the ground floor here, and I think this is really going to grow and make all of us some pretty decent money. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and have a good rest of the weekend. And onward and upward, baby.